Hello, and welcome to my little channel, So Let's Sparkle with Sam, and I'm Sam. It's very early on Friday morning, and hopefully you will see this as a little bit of sparkle on Sunday the 16th of August. But yes, it's Friday morning, it's early, and I'm trying to get things done before it gets ridiculously hot again. Although I wouldn't say it was exactly cool, but Mr. Sparkles has decided to go for a run because he is a crazy man. But hey, I am here. So I am wearing something that I've made this week, which I will tell you about in a minute. So a little bit of a tease about what I've got coming up today. I've got sardines, I've got stripes, I've got sewing bee inspiration, I've got the Eclipse, I'm finding my sparkle, and much ado prep. And if that sounds like something that you want to watch, then don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you are new here, I have had a few little flurry of subscribers. Hi, welcome. I am the bringer of sparkle. You are very welcome here. So let's get straight on, shall we, to my Sardines capsule collection. That's what I shall be calling it. So a little while ago, I bought 3 meters of fabric from Beyond the Pink Door, the lovely Andrea at Beyond the Pink Door. She had done a little live and showed us some gorgeous cotton jersey fabrics, and she had 3 different colorways of the sardine fabric, and I have nothing to show you apart from the finished garments. So I will just show you what I've got, and luckily on this pair of shorts I've got all 3 fabrics. So there was this pink striped colorway, there was this blue sardine tin colorway, and then the white, you can see the white colorway. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to use the 3 fabrics together, as you can see, to make a little capsule collection of holiday loungewear stroke pajamas. So the idea of these is for me to wear in bed, and I will wear them in bed throughout the autumn and winter, because I tend, like, shorts in bed for me are absolutely fine. I get very hot, so even in the winter, once I've got my duvet over me, as long as, you know, I will wear these pajamas all year round, even though they are shorts and a tank. But I can also wear them in the summer, in the mornings when I get up, so I'm dressed, but I'm not dressed. I can wear them around the garden. And to be honest, the way that they've turned out, I would if we went away on a little pool, beachy holiday, I'd very happy wear these out and about. Yeah, so that was the plan, and they are finished. So it's been a little bit of a work in progress. I did some fun batch sewing. I have got some of the process of me making them, and I will be kind of slipping that in and out of this video. So I hope that you find that useful. So I'm putting the cargo pockets onto the Just Peachy shorts. And as you can see, I've used my nice contrasting fabrics. So this is the pocket, this is the front piece. And then what I've done is I've just put a piece of jersey binding onto the pocket. And yeah, I just stretched it a tiny bit. You just need to be very careful. I think maybe when I put the next ones on, I'm going to just lengthen my stitch a little bit and maybe take a bit of pressure off the foot pressure. Because it's just kind of stretched a little bit, but hey ho, this is stretch fabric for you. So what I'm going to do now is I've got to turn over the edge of these pockets by 1 centimetre before I sew them on, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so we're over at my ironing board so that I can show you, because I'm going to press on the pocket as well. So what you need to do is you need to get yourself a marking pen. This one actually erases with heat. You use it just like a little ballpoint pen, so you click it in and out, and I find these are quite good because they don't dry out as much because they go inside. And you can purchase these on my shop. I've got blue, pink and black, so it's great. This blue one, I just thought it's quite fun. And then, so the idea on the pockets is you have to fold it over by 1 centimetre all the way around. So the way that I like to do it is I like to measure myself a 2 centimetre line. So I'm going to put my ruler on there at 2 centimetres and draw myself a line 2 centimetres from the edge. Now, obviously, this is on my ironing board, which is a soft surface, so it doesn't give you quite a sharp line as if you do it on the cutting board. But hopefully you can see that. And then again, on the other side, I've got my pocket upside down so I can show you. And you are on my ironing board, so I'm sorry if you're moving around a little bit. And then you want your 2 centimetre line there as well. That's the bit that you need, this bit here. And then what you do is you then fold in to the line. So if you fold it into the line, then you'll get exactly 1 centimetre. And then you want to get a nice hot iron and press down, and even going through the fabric, so if you press on it, it disappears. So that will get rid of the marks. I mean, this is going to be on the inside anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then you do the same on this side. Fold up, give it a press, and then the same on the corner. Like so. Make sure you give the corner a really good press. And then what I like to do is I then like to turn it round to the right side, make sure that everything is tucked down nicely, and press it again. And also while I'm here, I'm just going to press the elastic down. And then that's ready to go onto the front of the shorts. And then you've got a nice enclosed seam. So now we take our pocket, line it up with the notches. Now I found with mine, my notches meant that my pocket didn't quite line up on one side. May have been a cutting area, may have been because I've stretched it a little tiny bit. Not quite sure, but there you go, all lining up nicely. And then you can pop pins, or what I like to use is a little bit of basting glue, base that on, and then you can sew on the sewing machine. The patterns that I used are the Just Peachy shorts by Emporium Patterns, and the Blommer tank by Paradise Patterns as the tank pattern. So yeah, let me show you. So this is the Blommer tank. Now, as you can see, this isn't any of the fabrics. So on a couple of the pieces, I used plain jersey. So I've used plain jersey ribbing on the armholes of this one, and I've used a plain jersey, a blue that I had, because it kind of went with the blue of this Sardine. That's what I was matching it with. To be honest, now I've made it, probably isn't the best match that I could have gone for, but it's only on one, and I mean, I'm quite happy with it. It does make it a very bold make, and it will be entered into the So Bold challenge. If you don't know more about that, I'll pop Becky's playlist for her So Bold vlogging tour down below, so you can find out all about how to enter that. And I have done a video, so if I remember, I'll pop it up there. Now I pop these little labels in. These are from Pattern Paper Scissors from the lovely Becky, and who does her own labels. And this one says, "Nailed it, handmade by me." And you know what? I put it in 2 of the tanks and not in the last one because I just forgot. but it's okay because you can put them in after the effect. It's fairly easy to go around a small square like that with a satin stitch after. So yeah, that is the one thing that I didn't quite finish. But hey ho. So the heat wave bonus of these makes is, and yeah, and apologies if this is too much information for everybody, but the heat wave bonus is that the Blommer tank, the way that it fits, and particularly where I've used the ribbing for under the arms, is that, and the fact that it's got a bust dart in it, which means it fits me exactly, and I have got some pictures of me wearing them, is that you don't have to wear a bra with them, because it's very supportive. Well, I don't have to wear a bra with them. You can wear a bra with them, they're perfectly bra friendly and it covers everything. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And in this heat, chef's kiss has been a real lifesaver. So the fabrics have been really lovely to work with, and where I can, I have used kind of the self fabric, but I did on this pair use some binding, but it is still beyond the pink door because quite a while ago I got some jersey binding in a Beyond the Pink Door subscription box, and I've never really used it. It's been kept in my little binding box, but I've never really used it. And then I suddenly I'd made a, well, not a mistake, I'd cut everything out and I'd cut all of the binding pieces, but I'd forgotten to cut one for this fabric. So I thought, well, never mind, I'll just use a little piece of jersey binding instead, and it worked absolutely fine. I put the cargo pockets on, and I have got a piece of film on how to put those cargo pockets on. So the other great thing about these peachy shorts, let me show you another pair, is this band here. So can you see this lovely yoga waistband? I actually made mine a tiny bit narrower than they do in the pattern instructions, but that's just a personal preference thing. In the morning, I quite often get up and do a little bit of yoga and gentle stretching. So I find a yoga, a kind of tummy band, if you like, really, really comfortable. It stops them from moving up and moving down. So what I did is I adapted mine so it fits exactly where I need it to fit. And hopefully you'll see on the photos, it does cut me in half a little bit, but it's where it is comfortable. And also I need it to be comfortable on my back as well. Again, so when I'm stretching and kind of doing my downward dog, then, you know, my trousers don't fall down, basically. So yeah, they're absolutely perfect. I didn't think they were going to be quite as useful as they are. I mean, I'd hoped they were when I came up with the idea, but yeah, I just absolutely love them. And obviously I can just wash and repeat, and I can wear, you know, I can wear them mixed and matched. It really doesn't matter which ones I wear together. So they're just going to be such a lovely, nice throw on summer make. Yeah, and I can just see them being so useful. And as you can see on all of the shorts, I've tried to use a combination of all three of the fabrics. Now this is one of the pretty much the first pair that I made. And as you can see, just for full disclosure, because I like to show you everything, you know, including the things that didn't go quite to plan. When I put the yoga band on this one, they have the shorts have optional back pleats in. Now I hardly ever put those in the back of trousers because I've got quite a flat bottom and I don't really need them. So I just didn't really think about it, so I didn't use them, and I've ended up with a tiny little tuck. Can you see that there? Tiny little tuck in that band. Now it doesn't bother me, and to be honest, when I've got them on and they're stretched over, you can't really see it. So I've overlocked it. I'm not going back in and doing anything about it. But on the other ones, what I did was I adapted to that, and I took that dart mount out of the front and the back. I took more out of the back than the front, but I took a little bit out of each just so that it made them look nice and together. And now, as you can see, there's no tucks in that waistband. It fits absolutely perfectly. So yeah, you live and you learn. Every day's a learning day. every sewing day is definitely a learning day. So that brings me on to the next thing that I've been working on this week, which is my Stripey play. I've been playing with stripes. Now, I put a little cheeky post up on Instagram earlier this week saying that I wasn't going to make myself a set of pajamas, bananas in pajamas. Pajamas in bananas? Bananas in pajamas. But I really, really, really wanted to use up, bear with, let me grab a piece of scrap, use up this fabric that I bought. Now this was the fastest from shopping into my washing machine, into under my sewing machine fabric, because it literally just went bish, bash, bosh. But I'd seen this fabric, and I bought this fabric also from pattern paper scissors. I always want to get that the wrong way around. Apologies, Becky. I bought this and it's a gorgeous cotton. Now, a lot of people ask me, where did you get it from? I will put the link to the shop underneath, but I believe that this is either sold out or there is very, very little of it left. But she does have it in a different colourway, so please go and have a look. And, you know, obviously, I'm sure you might be able to get something very, very similar on a different site. I know that Andrew at Beyond the Pink Door also had something like this in, but I wasn't quick enough. So yeah, it is absolutely beautiful. It's a cotton. It's a 1.25 centimetre stripe. If you want to pop that in the search, it might help you search it. And yeah, and it's just absolutely beautiful, lovely to work with, very much inspired by the Sewing Bee when they did their colour week. And I just wanted to make myself a little cord. Yeah, so it was really easy. I wanted to make a cord, and of course, if any of you know me, I love a headband. I love a headband. So of course, the first thing I did was I made a headband. Well, I didn't. The first thing I did was cut all the pieces that I needed out, saw what I had left, and then I cut a headband. And it's literally just 2 pieces of the half width of the fabric that I sewed together, and then I kind of made the ends pointy, made a tube, got a headband, and just like this headband, because I love a headband. So I could have done like an elasticated twisty one, but I think sometimes just a tie is quite nice. And then if you have the tie, you can use the tie in different ways as well, not just around your head. So that was the first thing that I did. And then I needed 2 kind of tried and true patterns, because I wanted to make this quickly. I wanted to make it, I'm going to wear it tomorrow for my Much Ado About Stitching social with my lovely good friend Lynn, who is So Lindy Lou. I wanted to get it done, so I knew if I used tried and true patterns, then that would really help with that job. So of course, when it comes to trousers, it was only ever going to be the one, the only, my favourite, Lala's. So they are the Lala pants by Lizzie at lovely Lizzie at Betty Silk Studio. And if you don't know Lizzie, she was on the Sewing Bee a couple of seasons back. She is the most gorgeous, beautiful lady inside and out, and she has her own pattern design company called Betty Silk, and the Lala's was one of her first, in fact I think it might have been the first pattern, and these are them. And oh my goodness, I thought I couldn't love Lala's anymore until I made my Stripey Lala's, and now I am in absolute Stripey Lala heaven. And here you can see, so it's got a lovely wide waistband. They are elasticated all the way round. Lizzie tells you to sew them at the top to secure the elastic in them, and that brings them in just the kind of Goldilocks amount for me. So it means that they sit really nicely on my tummy, but they don't move around anywhere, which is lovely. They've got these little kind of in pockets that come in the side seams. I have of course played with stripes here, so I've got my pockets, my side seam is going the other way, but my pockets is going back horizontal again. I've popped a little cheeky label, which is the brand new labels. I don't even think they're out yet, from Cozy Club Handmade, but keep your eyes peeled or your eggs peeled for extra special handmade creation. And then on the other side it says, you're a good egg. And it had to be done, didn't it? Now, the thing that I love most about the Lalas is this little effect here. So they are a barrel leg, but this is the only piece of sewing that makes it a barrel leg. So what you do, I'll just turn it inside out. So you make this little box pleat basically inside. Now, I hope it's okay, Lizzie. I didn't follow your instructions exactly, but there was a reason. I normally do. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this stripe is 1.25 centimeters wide, this one here. So, and the instructions tell you to kind of do a 1 centimeter seam allowance. And then when you fold it over, you sew just along the seam allowance to make this pleat. And you have to be quite accurate. And so what I did is, instead of doing the 1 centimetre just to the side, I did 1.25 centimetres just to the side, which means mine is a slightly more exaggerated pleat, but only just. But what it means is it's given me this beautiful kind of line that is the same size as all the other lines. And there's something about that that just makes me very happy. Yeah, you know, when you're sewing and when it's just those little touches, isn't it? I know it's there, no one else will notice it, but I know it's there and it makes me very happy. So yeah, so those are the Lalas, and yeah, they are brilliant. They are literally an out of a packet make for me. I don't have to make any adjustments whatsoever, apart from one adjustment that I do make, is that the pockets on the side, I noticed when I was wearing them that I just felt like I was putting my hands in and then having to put my hands, you know, like they were going in a bit more. And I wasn't sure whether it was the pockets were a bit deep or they were just not quite in the right place for me. So I lift them up by 2 centimeters. So I just lift the pockets up. I lift the pocket notches up. You need to make sure that you move your notches. And yeah, and that's basically all I do. I think me and Lizzie must be fairly similar in height. And so again, I think she says a 2 centimeter hem and I do a 3 centimeter hem. So maybe I could take a centimeter off the length, but you know, I just love them. I love the Lalas. And then to go with the Lalas, I used the Matchy Split Peplum tank, which is the pattern of the month for Beyond the Pink Door at the moment. I've got this pattern, I've made this pattern, I knew it was going to work. So it's got a very simple top at the front. Sorry, I've as I said, it's very hot and I've just had this down. I've put it on top of my water bottle, which means it's got a bit damp. And then there is the bit at the back, which is the lovely peplum. And then I again have used Cozy Club Good Vibes because, well, it just is. And yeah, I just think it looks really, really great. So my plans are to wear this tomorrow when I go to my sewing social, which do about stitching, and magically Editing Sam will pop some pictures in of me wearing them somehow. Please let me know if you think it is bananas in pajamas chic or just chic. So my next section is entitled Sewing Bee Made Me Do It. Now, I know you're all probably expecting to see a bowling shirt right now, but hold your horses. It's only been a few days. Not quite. So one of the things that was on the Sewing Bee this week was free motion embroidery and appliqué. And those of you that have been here for a while will know that I love free motion appliqué. And when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I don't do that as much anymore. So I did. I had to make a little birthday card, so I got straight on my machine, cut out some, I had great fun. I'd had a drawer where what I used to do with my fat quarters and bits, and whenever I'd made something with applique, if I had any bits that had already kind of been glued, I kind of kept them in a little box. So I've got like lots of little bits. I made a lovely little card. I'll pop a picture up of here. Can't show you because it's already been gifted. And yeah, and it was just so lovely having a play. I have done a few tutorials on how to do free motion, and I will link them down below if it's something that you are interested in. And I think I may do on my Social Sparkle, I may do a Social Sparkle session just for free motion and applique if anyone fancies it, because I just love it and I just don't do it. I know that I try to keep things mainly dressmaking because, you know, that's what most of you love. But yeah, and you can put a bit of free motion and applique into dressmaking fairly easily. So I think I might do that really, really soon. Let me know. Tell me if that's something you'd like. So the one thing that I did remember about free motion and applique is that sometimes you don't need to make a whole garment. Sitting at the machine playing with scraps for half an hour can be just enough to get that creative dopamine hit. And that brings me into beautifully about my 14 days of finding my sparkle. So those of you that follow me will know that I've recently not been very well. I had a bout of shingles. It's now the 6th time that I've had shingles, and it has properly beaten me around the head, quite literally. And the recovery is slow, which is fine, but I've just been finding that really hard. I'm normally quite a, active person, and I've just been finding it really difficult to kind of just get going again. So I decided that I'd give myself a challenge, and some of you lovely ones have been lovely enough to want to join in with me, and it's been really lovely, and I hope we've kind of found it mutually supportive. I'll pop a link down below where that you can find my little sparkly 14-day cards. And the whole point of it, it's not a competition. It's not about weight loss. It's not about getting smaller. It's none of those things. It's just about reminding ourselves that we can find little bits of sparkle, because of course it's me, so it's going to be sparkle. But it's just, finding those little bits of joy in the world. I think sometimes it can be really hard, particularly if you're not feeling too good, if you're recovering, if you've got other things going on in your life, which, let's face it, that's all of us. Finding those little dopamine hits, finding those little bits of sparkle, those little bits of joy, we sometimes forget how much of them we actually have in our lives. And if we can look at them and think about them, it makes us feel happy. So yeah, I have just been finding my sparkle for the last 7 days, and I've been really enjoying it. So I've just noticed that my habits are starting to change, which is great. Water is becoming more of a habit. Like literally, I just grabbed this because it was here, because it was next to me. Tiny little things. My water bottle is now always with me, and I'm drinking it, which is amazing. I've got outside more, although the heat isn't really helping with my getting outside and moving, because being a natural ginger, I know not so much ginger anymore, but it's hard work in the heat. And creativity gives me those dopamine hits. And I lost that a little bit. I think when you kind of sewing is your job and you're kind of like creativity is your job, you forget that actually sometimes just being creative for you is the thing that you need. And I have been embracing that this week. So I've had other days when the sparkle has simply been spending time with people that I love. And I think that's really important too. So just to reassure everybody, this, it isn't about 14 perfect days. It's about noticing the things that make you feel better. So and one of my most sparkly days this week was Wednesday. So those of you are in the UK will know that we had an eclipse, a solar eclipse on Wednesday. So for us, it was just later in the evening, about between kind of 6:30 and 7:30. We had a beautiful, beautiful solar eclipse, and I had this sudden urge to make myself a top. So, ta-da! So yes, I made this. I made this little lunar inspired, because it's the moon, solar eclipse top. I made the Ashton top because I made a matching headband. Why not? And I made it in a remnant of this gorgeous, I think it's Dashwood Studios, but don't quote me on that, viscose. And basically I had this left over because a few years ago I had plans to make the Fleur dress by Fabric Godmother. I made the Fleur top, I made the top in it, and then when I put the skirt on I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it. So I took the skirt off, so I had the two kind of skirt pieces and I made a top out of it. So I made the Ashton top, I made it fully faced. I do find that when I make the Ashton top out of viscose, it comes up ever so slightly bigger, and I know that, and I normally make the smaller size, and for some reason I didn't. To be honest, because it's been so hot, it's been quite nice, but it does mean that my bra ever so slightly peaks on the armhole, but you know, I'm happy with that. And yeah, and it's just easy breezy, and it was perfect for the occasion. So I made the Ashton top during the day, and then I decided to pop over to some friends at lunchtime, and then in the evening my daughter had made a beautiful picnic. I'll pop in a little bit of footage. So Leah, top sparkler, what have we got on the plate?
What have you got?
Yeah.
You've got some Port Salut, because that's your favourite. You've got some Pink Lady apple slices. You have some charcoal crackers to represent the night sky with a shooting star. You've got some star-shaped cucumbers, which you can see I definitely needed a template for. And then this is a pork pie with some caramelised onion and some Edam cheese to make it look like a solar eclipse.
Perfect. Really, my daughter is amazing. She is wonderful, and she knows that, you know, I've been feeling a little bit less sparkly than I normally am, and so yeah, she pulled out all the stops and made us a lovely kind of solar eclipse themed picnic. And who doesn't like their cucumber cut into stars? I mean, hey ho. So yeah, she made a lovely picnic. Pop that in somewhere, hopefully, maybe at the end. And yeah, I managed to wear this for the picnic, and then my daughter, her boyfriend, and my baby Sparkles, we went for a lovely kind of sunset walk over the Burton Dasset Hills, and it was just magical. It was really, really lovely. Yeah, really, really beautiful. So yeah, in fact, probably actually one of my biggest sparkly moments. So what's next? Well, one of the main things that I've got coming up next is I'm going to be doing a make for the lovely Sarah for the Weekend Sewing Club. So if you don't know, Sarah is my handmade wardrobe. She also runs the Weekend Sewing Club, and I run her sparkly session once a month. At the end of this month I'm doing a session, and this month's pattern is the Sunday shorts. I've made a toile of the Sunday shorts for baby Sparkles. A little bit of tweaking and they'll be fine, and I think what I'm going to do is tweak those, and then I'm going to make another pair during the social, but for me, because why not? So yeah, I'm going to be kind of planning those, because one of the things that I noticed when I got dressed ready to do this vlog was that I don't really have any shorts that match this top, and I wear a lot of green. And I was thinking I could really do with some bright pink shorts. So I think I'm going to make myself some bright pink shorts, because who doesn't need a pair of bright pink shorts? So that's my plan for this week. But my more immediate plans is, as I said, it's early Friday morning, and today my lovely friend Debs from Debs Made This. If you don't go and watch her channel, please do. She's very lovely. And she is coming over to stay tonight. So we're going to, the lovely Mr. Sparkles is going to whip up a lovely spag bowl, spaghetti bolognese with garlic bread. Yum, yum, yum. We're going to have that. Then she's going to join me in the Sparkly studio and we're going to do the social sparkle together. No idea how this is going to work, but you know, should be fun. And then tomorrow we're going to go together to the social, to Much Ado About Stitching social. So yeah, so it's going to be a really lovely weekend. I'm really looking forward to that. So that would be really fun. And then Sunday, you may find me just rolled up in a ball sleeping somewhere, because I think it's going to be a rather exhausting weekend, but so much fun. So yeah, so that's what I'm up to. So I'd better get this edited, get myself organised for today and tomorrow, and get on with a very busy day. I hope you have had some lovely time to sew this week, and whatever you are up to, don't forget to sparkle. Bye for now.